Howdy folks, John here, and today we are going to be looking at the ThinkorSwim Desktop application. Let's get into it. Okay folks, now before we get started, if you have any questions along the way in this video, just do me a favor and leave me a comment and I will 100% get back to you with an answer. Alright folks, let's just dive on in. So I have the desktop application here on my screen. And let's start by looking at this at a high level overview. Okay, so here is your left sidebar, and this has your account info and some other widgets on it. So this says news, trader TV, watch list, and a quick chart. And then the other main section is this big middle section, okay? And this has your different tabs. So your monitor, trade, analyze, scan, market watch, charts, tools, education, and finally help. Now under each one of these they have sub tabs. So under monitor they have activity and positions, account statement, FX reports, strategy roller, and this applies to the other tabs as well. They have sub tabs. Okay, so let's go back to the sidebar here. So this account information, this always has to stay there. This cannot be removed. So the other widgets you can remove, but importantly they want you to have this value here. And side note here, this $150,000 account is my paper account. I use this along with my real account to try strategies out and just play around using a bigger account, which is much more fun to see how much you can make. So don't take that too serious basically. So why don't we go ahead and just erase everything we have here, and I'll show you how to create the widgets by yourself. So if you go to the gear icon, you can just X out of these and it will leave you only again with that account info, which you cannot get rid of. Okay, so to add one, you go to the plus button. Let's add a watch list. So there's your watch list. This is currently set on this one for some reason. So you can go to personal. See, I've created some personal ones there. Let's pick one that is basically public that they've already created for us. So let's see. Let's pick the S&P 500. So the top 500 stocks. A lot of people are familiar with this index. The popular index is SPY. So let's click that. And so now we have a list of the S&P 500. Now this is a pretty big list. I wouldn't really recommend having this whole thing. So you can expand your watch list. Since there's 500 here, this would expand much too far. So you could go and pick something a little smaller. Let's see what we have here. Dow Jones Industrial Average, that should be 30. So see there, there it ends. So that is the Dow Jones Industrial Average list. So yeah, that's a watch list. And if you click here, what you can actually do is link, which I like to do. So if you have a watch list here, you could link. Right here's a link button. You choose one of the numbered colors and then go to your charts. And this one's already set for that, for the red one. And so look here, if I click Microsoft, it's great. It pops up right there for you. Okay, so let's add another one. Another one I like is the quick chart. And again, you can link that to that same link and boom, if I click through here, Coke pops up for me. A really cool feature. Okay, what else here on the widgets? Those are the main ones I like to use. I don't do a ton of news here. I use other sources for that. Watch list. You know, one of the funniest things, ThinkorSwim is pretty funny, and they have a Tetris one on here. So this is hilarious. So you can go in here and go to new and play Tetris. Hilarious, and it works well. So pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna close this up and we're gonna move on to the next section, which is this big main section, which is very, very important. So your monitor tab, number one, you can look at your open positions. And let's see, I'm stuck on strategy. I need to be in activity and position. So you can see here, this is my position statement. This shows what I have on right now. Now last Friday, I basically sold some options and that's what's showing here. But this is how you can monitor the positions you have on. So as a trader, one of the most important tabs you want to understand is the chart tab. It's very powerful. And I'm going to walk you through the basics of this. Now to start out, it's nice to know how to customize the type of chart you would like to see. I personally like candlestick charts, but you may like a line chart or a bar chart. So let me show you how to do that. So just anywhere on the screen, you're going to right click and you're going to go down to style. And then if we go up to chart type, see it's set on candle, we can change that to bar. We could change this to, oh, the menu's on the other side this time. Change it to line. But again, I like to go with the candlestick. There it is. So yeah, very important to know what to do. Now, another way to change the appearance and change many other settings for the charting tab is to go up here and click the gear icon. And then under appearance, you can change the color. That'll fill up the green, for instance. You can change the chart type like we did there before. And there's many other settings here. You can change things on the time axis, price axis, etc. You can do things for options, futures. There's a lot to go into there. That would take up a whole hour, so I'll kind of leave you to play with those, but a lot of options to play with for the charting. Now, another important thing to know for charting is the time frame. That's very important. Here you can see that we are on the daily time frame, and you can tell that by the D here. Now, if I want to change that to some of the presets that they already have, you're going to click that, and there's a favorites tab here. And if we wanted to go to, say, 5 minute, 5 day, okay, then it breaks it down to here. And every candle you see there is going to be 5 minutes, and this covers 5 days. Let's change it to one other one real quick. Let's go to the weekly. So now each candle here is going to be a weekly candle. Now, you can also make your own custom time frames. And the way you would do that is clicking where it says week here. And instead of favorites, you click over to the time frame tab. And you can go by time, tick, or range. The most common is time. And you could customize this to say, okay, I want to go for 9 months, and I want it to be a 2-day chart. And there you've got a custom chart. You can star that and add it to your favorites. So pretty cool, very diverse, and you can make a custom set of time frames to your delight. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is one of the most important things to understand, and that is how to buy or sell a stock. So we're going to hop over to the trade tab. I already have Apple in here. Now there's many ways to do this. Let's look at the first way. So here you have some information about the stock you've input. It shows you company, the last price. This is the last change in dollars and percentage, the bid and ask. This right here is ETB, that stands for easy to borrow. This means the stock is easily shortable, and it shows that it trades on the NASDAQ. So the first way to buy a stock is to click this last price. And then you can click buy or sell here. So let's click buy, and this is going to open up an order entry. It shows you that I'm buying 100 shares, and you can adjust this. This is just the default. So you can adjust this to 200, for instance. Buying stock, this is the price it's currently at, and this is where you can change the order. This is currently a limit. You could change it to market if you wanted. You could put a stop limit. Let's just leave it on limit for now. You can also change the time and frequency. This is currently on day. You could also change it to good till canceled. And basically the difference there is good till cancel would leave the order on indefinitely until the price got hit. For instance, if you put in a limit order, if you leave it on day and the price doesn't get hit that day, the order will be erased. So let's leave it on day, and let's actually lower the price, okay? Let's lower it to something unrealistic so I can show you what happens when it gets stored as a working order. So we'll put it at 300. Apple's currently around 350. So number one, this is after hours, so it won't execute. Number two, this is far below the price. So we're gonna set a limit way down there to buy down there at 300. So what you would do is hit confirm and send. This is gonna pop up a very important window, and this is your confirmation window. Okay, so this is your last check to make sure you want to be in this trade. It shows you some information such as the buying power effect, but again, it's very important to review this. So if you are ready to execute the trade, you can just hit send here. That will send the order through. So if we want to go monitor that position, we can go over here. And as I mentioned, this is going to be stuck as a working order. So here's working orders. You can see there's one. We'll open that up, and there it is. The 200 shares of Apple to buy at 300. Okay, so let's head back and just briefly look at the exact opposite if we want to sell. Same thing. Here you would sell 100. You could adjust that if you want. And again, adjust these parameters as you'd like. So I'll delete that one. So that's one way to get into a stock to buy or sell. The other way, and there's actually many ways in ThinkorSwim, but another way is to actually hit the bid or ask price. So you see the bid or ask. If you wanted to sell the stock, you would hit the bid, and look, the sell order pops up there. If you wanted to buy, there you can see it changed to buy. Another handy thing is since you can hit the bid and ask, well, guess what? There's actually a bid and ask by default on your watch list. So if I was interested in Microsoft, for instance, let's change it to that. Close that down. If I hit the bid here, you can see it works just the same. Perfect. Okay, now that we've looked at how to buy or sell a stock, let's look at how to buy or sell an option. So let me close this down. We want to stay in Trade tab, and we'll close this here. Let's open up the option chain. And if you're not familiar with options, they are basically a contract that expires, okay? So these are all the expirations, okay? And the value of the option contract is determined by the price of the stock, okay? So that makes this a derivative. Its value is derived from the price of the underlying. So as I mentioned, these contracts expire. So the first one here expires on June 26, 2020. This next one, July 2nd, 2020, and July 10th, 2020, and so on. Okay, so let's just pick the first one, for instance. And it would to get in one of these, it's really essentially going to be the same as the stock, okay? We can just hit the bid or the ask. So let's go to the 185 strike, and we'll hit bid. So that's going to sell a put. By the way, this is the put side, and this is the call side. So if we sold a put, we would actually want the stock to go up, believe it or not. So you can see it's automatically selling 10. Again, just like the stocks, you can adjust all these parameters. So that was the bid. If we hit the ask, we would be buying 10 of those for 79 cents each. So it's really exactly the same. And by the way, if you're buying a put, you technically would want the stock to go down. So if we bought the 185 put, we would really want the stock price to go below and stay below 185. Okay, well that wraps up how to buy or sell a stock option. Okay, so the last thing I want to go over is the scan tab. Now this is a very powerful scanner. It's one of the best features on the desktop application along with the charting. And let's just dive into it a little bit. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. I'm just going to look at some preset defaults. You can play with these and do all sorts of great scans. But let's just go look at some defaults here. So I'm going to click over here. There we go. And I'm going to go to load scan query. Here's where I have a personal one. Looks like volatility index over 30%. Let's go to one of the ones they have in the top 10. So we have top 10% gain in the NASDAQ. Let's pick that one. So let's hit scan. And here we go. So this pops up some of the top 10% gainers in the NASDAQ. So let's check this one out. So here, if you right click, you can buy or sell. You can also go down here to send to this link, and here it'll pop up in your quick chart. It should pop up right here on your chart. And wow, that thing really did take off. That's kind of a penny stock that turned into a $10 stock all of a sudden, but you can see the power of these scans. Again, there are many more options for them, and you can find some pretty incredible runners that way and many other things. But yeah, really powerful feature in the ThinkorSwim Desktop app. Okay folks, well if you made it this far, I really appreciate you sticking it out. And if you like this content, I'd love it if you would subscribe, maybe hit that like, and if you want to receive notifications for my videos, you just need to tap that notification bell. Alright folks, I'll talk to you soon.